Alrighty, hey there guys. This is Bryce, the local wayfarer from Australia for the Drowned Earth Miniatures game. I just wanted to do a quick video showing off how charges work and how reacting with a ambush does. So it pops up question from time to time online, basically what happens when a model charges someone with ambush and basically how the reaction there works. So in this case we're going to be having Sage here. He is going to be charging the Oviraptor just here. The Oviraptor obviously having the ambush special rule. As a reaction, he may spend an AP to declare a point on the enemy's movement path to within 4 inches of this model. That point becomes the enemy model's new point of destination. Immediately move this model to the base-to-base contact with that point of destination. Now fight a round of close combat as though this model charged. The active model may not declare a firefight in response to this reaction. So, and here we have Sage. Yeah, looking pretty cool. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we'll just skip a couple of steps because they're not necessary in regards to showing how this actually works. So, we're not going to spend AP or anything like that. We don't need the counters. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at Sage. He's going to declare a charge against the Oviraptor. When declaring a charge, the first thing we do is declare our point of movement, which we will use our point of destination, which is where we will place the marker down here, in which case we are using the B-shaped marker, as that is the correct size for Sage. As the active player, Sage declares his action, spends his AP, and declares what he does and his destination. As the defending player, or the inactive player, the Oviraptor is now going to pick a point along Sage's path of movement, which is anywhere along here, within 4 inches of the Oviraptor. The Oviraptor will measure out 4 inches, and he wants to actually charge Sage as soon as he takes a step forward. So, that is what our reactions and declarations are. So now, we roll our dice to find out what Sage does, and then we roll our dice to find out what the Oviraptor does. Because in the Drowned Earth, we roll our dice and do our checks generally before we move any of the miniatures. All movement is pretty much done after things are resolved. So in this case, we've declared our charge. Our Oviraptor has declared his reaction. To speed things up, we're going to say that Sage here has rolled a feat against the Oviraptor. He doesn't need to check for dynamic movement because he's just moving across open ground, so we don't roll our dynamic movement check. We just do our check for close combat. If our Oviraptor over here was doing a dodge or a shoot attack or a close combat attack, it would be an opposed roll against the Oviraptor's defense. No, not so much defense, against his attack. So, because this is an ambush, we don't do this. Instead, what happens here is Sage activates, he declares his charge, he goes to charge across. Oviraptor declares his ambush. So, Sage has passed his attack. Oviraptor now actually interrupts this attack and moves to here. We move this out of the way. Sage now moves to here. Because, as we said, with the Oviraptor's special ability, we immediately move that model there and we declare and do a charge against Sage. So we'll take the dice from the Oviraptor. This is an unopposed attack because an active model who is charging cannot declare any reactions, and you also can't declare a shoot reaction against charging as well. So the Oviraptor, who has a close combat ability of 6, what do we got? A 4 and a 6. Hey, we actually hit. Neat. Alrighty, so we do in fact hit, and that is a nailed it. So that is 3 damage that we deal to the lovely Sage. Sage having a armor of 4. A toughness of 4 and an armor of 1. Needs 5 or less to block that damage. He takes 3 points of damage, and that last one rolled off on the table as a 7. So Sage takes 1 point of damage from the Oviraptor doing a ambush charge against him. And now we go back to Sage's attack, which is now going through. It was unopposed because the model did not do an attack that was able to be reacted to. Sage nailed it with his feet, which means his attack is doing 4 damage and pierce of 1. Our Oviraptor doesn't have any armor, so it's all good. Okay, let's have a look. Oviraptor has rolled his 4 defense dice against that attack. Seeing as the Oviraptor has an armor of 3, he has blocked 1 of them and taken 3 damage. Unfortunately for the poor Oviraptor, he only has 1 health, indicated up here in the corner. So unfortunately, our little Oviraptor has been completely splattered by Sage's Matic. So in this case, the way that we've ended up working is the Oviraptor declared his attack, declared his reaction, moved in. Because the Oviraptor interrupts Sage's attack, and it is an unopposed attack, the Oviraptor just deals his damage to Sage if he succeeds, and then Sage deals his damage back because the Oviraptor was the charge target. So, pretty much that's it in regards to charges and ambushes. It's fairly simple. It doesn't really need to go into that much detail. If you follow the rules as they are in the rulebook, it states, declare your intention, declare your reactions, roll your dynamic checks. For a charge, roll your close combat attack. If it's opposed, it's against the close combat. If it's not, it's all good. Unopposed roll in this case, because you can't oppose the ambush. Oviraptor dealt his damage, Sage dealt his damage, and then we continue on. If Sage has another AP, he could attempt to move. If Sage wanted to shoot someone, he could do that as well. If Sage was out of AP, that would be where he ended after taking only 1 step forward. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's everything covered. Thank you for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be filming more frequently asked questions and FAQs later on. This is my first one, so sorry for the fact that it's not exactly the best setup in the world. I've just thrown this together to get this one done because it popped up online just recently. Alrighty, thanks guys. If you have any other questions or anything else that pops up in regards to the Drowned Earth, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And if I get a chance to get to them, I will. And if I need to make a video on them, I will. So cheers for that. Have a good one. Bye.